There's speaker slips in the back you'd like to fill out and give to us. There's also agendas and some other documents for you. So this is the May 9th, 2024 regular meeting of the Board of Directors of the Arrowhead Architectural Committee. Agenda item 1 is call the meeting to order and roll call. The 4 directors and the staff are present, and the meeting is officially called to order at 5:31. Agenda item number 2 is to approve the meeting agenda. We all have one, I assume, and have reviewed it. I'll entertain a motion to approve the meeting agenda. Second. Yeah, you need to make the motion first. I make a motion to approve the agenda. And then
I will make a second that you approve the meeting agenda.
it's been a motion to approve and a second. Any discussion? If not, a vote. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Unanimously carried. Agenda item 3, approved minutes of the April 18th, 2024 board meeting. Has everybody reviewed those minutes? Yes. Yes. I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
I make a motion that we approve the meeting minutes from April 18th, 2024 as written.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Discussion? All in favor? Aye. Carries 4-0. Item number 4, approve the April 2024 financials. They're included behind your minutes. We have a balance sheet as of May 7th, 2024. Balancing $48,950.16. The second page is the P&L for the month of April 2024, showing net income of $4,452.50. I'll entertain a motion to approve those financial records.
I make a motion to approve the financial records.
Is there a second?
Was that Michael?
That was
Mike
Michael.
made the motion.
Okay, sorry, thank you.
Yes, I will second the motion.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Carries 4-0. Before we move to item 5, we have a item not on the agenda. Some of you may or may not know that April 24th was Administrative Professionals Day. And we would like to honor the administrative professional we have.
What did I do wrong?
So we have something for her that I'd like to present. Jennifer Silvestri, for those who don't know, is our administrative worker at the office, and she's done a phenomenal job in helping us get back online. We couldn't have done it without her.
Sweet, thank you all so much. I appreciate it. Oh, I guess I didn't make a mistake. Thank you very much. That's so
You're welcome, Jennifer, thank you. Okay, let's move to item number 5, the public comments and questions period. Does everybody that wants to make a comment, filled out a form? We have a few. How many do we have up here?
3, and they're in the back by the copy machine.
If we email you, put it in the form.
Here.
Yeah, it becomes part of the minutes.
So while we're doing that, the last few, just let me read. This time is allocated to the public to address any matters or questions on the current agenda, which the directors or officers will answer at the time if possible, or will reach out with a follow-up written response. It's requested that individuals limit their time to 3 minutes or less. Time may not be transferred to any other individual who has already addressed the board. It is requested that all individuals observe proper etiquette, utilizing this time in a proactive and respectful manner. Okay,
I do see, one hand raised on Zoom if you want to start there.
okay, let's do that.
Ryan, would you unmute Juliana Halstead, please? Thank you.
Hi, thank you. So what I'd like to do tonight is, SB 1405. In reviewing the legislative intent for what turns out in reality to have been an attempt by AWAC to sell with property on water rights to LACSD, Senator Phil Boss stated during her presentation that, quote, AWAC has no authority to charge fees to cover the cost of its operations. The only revenue the organization receives is from application fees and penalty fees for active compliance. Unfortunately, the senator was sort of misled by representatives of AWAC and LACSD. So assuming in argument that CCRs are binding, the fact is the CCRs for some tracts provide for AWAC to collect only a $50 plan check fee under very limited circumstances. That's it. The CCR did not empower AWAC to impose on Woods property owners inspection fees, permit fees, penalties, construction deposits, and the likely unlawful forfeiture of construction deposits. The CCR also did not empower AWAC to expand its powers by adopting its own standalone contract. That contract is likely a contract of adhesion because Woods property owners are forced to subject themselves to onerous contract terms and certain provisions of AWAC's bylaws. That contract states this application will be reviewed by AWAC only if all applicable items on the attached AWAC application form are completed and this plan application agreement is signed by the applicant. The fact is the CCRs do not include a requirement that an application must be submitted to AWAC for any purpose whatsoever. The fact is, this contract is just part of an AWAC scheme designed to have a breach of contract enforcement mechanism against Woods property owners and intended to coerce Woods property owners to pay their hard-earned money to AWAC for the personal financial gain of 2 to 3 individuals, including someone who doesn't even own property in Arrowhead Woods. At the last meeting, I reminded you that according to financial for fiscal year in 19, 20, 21, and 22, AWAC collected $121,225 in construction deposits. Those deposits were required to be maintained by AWAC in a separate trust account and remain property of the owner. During that same period, AWAC refunded only $29,300 to owners. That leaves $91,925 in Woods property owner funds unaccounted for. Were those funds deposited into a separate trust account, and where is that money today? You indicated at the last meeting that you would address that issue in your president's comments to both myself and another commenter, and yet you failed to do so. So we would like answers now. Also, in your newsletter, you stated that neither the Code of Corporations nor the Rules of Order address the rescission of board member resignations. You stated some facts that you would resign and you rescinded a few days later, and AWAC legal counsel reviewed the matter and provided a letter stating, in his opinion, your resignation was impliedly accepted by the city board. Your rescission of your resignation. So my questions are, who made the request to AWAC legal?
Okay, thank you, Juliana. We have a timer on the Zoom for 3 minutes for the public comments. So thank you for your comment. Okay, that's the only hand raised.
Are you going to answer the comment?
You're not gonna answer the question I should just ask?
Just ask the question,
No,
we're
this
just going to
is-
answer it.
No, but we're we will address it later. This is only for public comment right now. I'm copying down the comments that were made.
Okay.
And we're not going to
Questions.
address them right now at this point in the meeting. We're going to allow all the others who want to make a comment to make their comments. Mr. Hatt, I have a card from you.
Yes. I have a quick question for you. Since you're a new board, it involves cutting the removal of trees. Now, as you know, a lot of our insurances have been canceled. My insurance was canceled with Allstate. So I had to go to the state for insurance. Also, when a fire comes through here, there's a lot of structures that are lost. In the old fire, there were 350 structures completely destroyed. And in the Grass Valley fire, there was 199 structures lost. And I'm a retired firefighter, so this really impacts me a lot. Now, the reason why those structures were lost is because people were not allowed to cut the trees down around their house. And it's almost impossible for the firefighters to protect the homes. Okay? And now my question to you is if I wanted to cut down, I have a lot of trees around my house, but I have a couple around my house. If I wanted to cut those trees down, what would I have to go through to get permission to do that and make it okay? I'm realizing that you're a new board. The old board, I cut down a tree and I was in court for 2 years, and it could have cost me a lot of money. So that's my question to you, is how would you handle if I asked you for permission to cut down a tree? How would you handle that?
Okay, thank you, George.
Mr. Hatt, I'll email you the answer on Monday. I'm not in the office tomorrow, but I'll send you the application.
Now.
Can we all have the delay to those answers, because it impacts all of us?
Pardon me?
Can we also see the answer, because it impacts all of us, right?
Can we get a response to these questions instead of just
I
blowing
can
us
go.
off? And say, we'll figure it out later?
Frank,
No, that's not appropriate.
I just wanted to explain something to you.
Yeah, not a problem. I'll send anyone who needs anything regarding trees, please go ahead and email me and I'll send you
We
everything.
routinely accept and approve lots of tree removal and tree alteration applications, and typically approve them within a day or
Is a survey required?
two. No.
Let's see, these in order.
Well, let me rephrase that. If there's a question as to whether the tree is on the applicant's property, sometimes we require a survey to prove that it is. But in most cases, a survey is not required.
And how much does that survey cost?
I don't know, but that's irrelevant.
You're a contractor, right? You should know how much a survey costs.
George,
It costs over $1,000.
if you interrupt one more time, I'm gonna escort you out like I did once before.
I know, I've been through that before.
Not being assaulted battery.
Please don't interrupt.
Okay, the next speaker is Tess Ross.
Okay, thank you, and thank you for your work that you do for the AWAC. I just have one concern regarding section 12 of the CCNRs, which is that no signs or advertisements of any kind or character shall be erected, pasted, posted, or displayed upon or about the premises without the written permission of title insurance, and trust company and title insurance and trust company shall have the right, in its uncontrolled discretion, to prohibit and to restrict and control the construction material location of any and all signs, and may summarily remove and destroy any such signs. My concern is there's plenty of signs all throughout Crest Circle, which is Tract 53, which are illegal and against the CCNRs, and I'd like to have those removed. And that's my question, how to go about that, and can they be removed, please? I already sent an email with information on that. So
Right, yeah.
your response would be appreciated.
Yes, we received that, Tess, and I'll be responding to that in my president's comments.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, and the next, we do this all together, is Frank Stanley.
Thank you. I have a couple of questions. How many vacant lots are there currently in Arrowhead Woods?
I couldn't tell you, a lot less than there used to be.
Fillable. I mean, and I guess that goes to my point of, we really need an architectural committee, because my understanding is that, you know, for new construction, you have one here on North Shore for $6,000 that we just acquired, I believe. I just, wonder how many more are left. There's not many more capable lots, in my understanding. So why do we have a, architectural committee? It's not.
We do more than regulate new
No, I
construction.
understand what we do.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, how many tracts, and/or home ownership were released from AWAC authority / control? You know Mill Pond was, you know Hamilton was, I suspect Naderwood and probably a commercial property on 189, are there others? And,
No, there is.
and if so, why? Was there valuable consideration, being rendered to release, those entities from AWAC's control?
Well, I know the one that I was involved in is the Arrowhead Canyon project at the bottom of Arrowhead Canyon. It's a planned development, and it was foreclosed out by Cathay Bank, who owned the project, and I put a group together about 12 years ago to acquire the project. And that group, got a legal opinion that the foreclosure had eliminated AWAC's jurisdiction, and we didn't fight it. That's the only other one I'm aware of.
What about Hamilton?
I'm sorry?
Hamilton?
Yeah, you mentioned Hamilton.
Yeah.
That was many years ago. Point Hamilton is outside of AWAC's jurisdiction. Old Hamilton is within AWAC's jurisdiction.
The one you just.
Anything else?
The one you just,
Please don't interrupt, Garen. Thank you.
can you say the one that you were involved in, that you had a group together? The one you just said it, what group, which one was the one that you were involved in that you brought a group together and you
It was
released?
the Arrowhead Canyon project.
Mill Pond.
That's Mill Pond?
No, it's a gated community at the bottom of Cuffle Canyon, right as you make the turn up, going up. It's on the right-hand side. It's approximately 45 units.
When was this?
We got involved in approximately 2010, I believe, possibly 2011.
As a result of a foreclosure, AWAC's authority did not apply? That's exactly what you're saying?
Yes,
As a result of a foreclosure, you're
that's the
seeking.
legal opinion we were given on that project.
Who gave you that legal opinion?
I can't remember, it was the attorney that represented the group that acquired the project. But is this part of, are you submitting a comment?
Yes, he is.
Okay, is this part of your comment, or?
Mr. Smedley, sorry that you've been interrupted. Do you want to continue?
Yeah, I have a question. Why no transfer of time when you have comments? We're limited to 3 minutes, and if we want to delegate our time to somebody that might have a valuable input, why are we limited to 3 minutes?
Well, because that person can fill out a comment card. It's open to everybody, the cards are back there, the cards are back there. Anything else, Mr. Smedley?
No, I think
your
I'm
time's
good.
up. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, Garen?
Yeah, I just want to address the new board. I've already told my spiel to the previous board who's not here anymore, and this is gonna be a repeat for Mr. Scott, so hopefully he picks it up. When an officer of a corporation acts allegedly on behalf of the corporation, whether under express, implied, or mistaken authority, he has the obligation to act with a duty of care and a duty of loyalty. Duty of care. Directors and officers of California corporations under the California Corporations Code owe a duty of care and a duty of loyalty to the corporation they serve. A director or an officer breaches the duty of care when decisions they make are not informed, they serve no business purpose, they are not independent, and they are disinterested. These 4 requirements satisfy the business judgment rule. The Attorney General's Guide on Parity states on page 56 of their hand manual, directors also act as fiduciaries. For instance, each director owes a duty of care to its nonprofit corporation and the corporation's charitable beneficiaries. For public benefit corporations, directors are required to perform with a level of care that an ordinary prudent person in a like position would use under similar circumstances. This includes making reasonable inquiries as needed. To ensure the duty of care is met, a director should review the corporation's articles of incorporation and the bylaws to better understand the corporation's mission, the expected roles and responsibilities of the directors and officers. Directors also are obligated to be informed about the nonprofit organization's program and operations. So, What I'm doing today is I'm informing you, Mr. Schultz, Ms. Kelly, and Mr. Alvarado. I've had an opportunity to review AWAC's tax returns for 2019, 2020, and 2021. This is a actual budget fiscal year draft report that was generated by AWAC. The tax returns for 2019, 2020, and 2021, they underreport income. On the draft budget for 2019, AWAC stated that they had total income of $139,000. The tax return says $128,000. There's $10,000 that's underreported on 2019. For 2020, AWAC's report said $220,000. The tax return says $210,000. There's an underreporting of $10,000, so there's $10,000 missing. 2021, $274,000 is on the annual report that AWAC published. Tax return says $265, another $10,000. So now that you're informed, I'm hoping that you guys do your due diligence and you honor, you respect your duty of care and duty of loyalty. Mr. Rompanano, you're a risk management guy, so I'm giving it to you because I'm sure you know about the business judgment rule, duty of care and duty of loyalty. So please investigate this. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Karen.
Thank you, Karen. Mr. Hatt?
Hi.
I'm sorry, I apologize.
You said we can comment on things on the agenda, and it really isn't really apparent what those things are. Financials, just as financials, and the two-figure butter up here about $48,000 and $4,452 with every tail. So it's impossible to make an intelligent comment on that item on the agenda because we don't know breakdown. I would like to comment upon, first off, I put my sheet up there last intentionally so I can comment upon what is said by some of the other people who have far more information than I do. So I would like to hold my comment about the financials because there are people who are going to talk about those, I think. And then I would like to speak in order. I gave you that sheet. I don't want to jump up here at top.
Okay, all right, then we'll have you speak after Crystal Upton.
Please, I would like to speak.
For the time?
This one?
So I'm gonna throw out a lot out there right now. I've emailed back and forth or text messaged with Mr. Scott in regards to comments he made in the April 2024 publication stating that the current AWAC staff was introduced to AWAC by the former executive director, who I presume is me, who supported her hiring. I have printed off, well, as you can see, a lot of emails and text message communications, not with you three, but with you two, the prior board, John Worm's DNR letters that you tried to submit to me, showing that I never did once approve or say that that was the right method. So I've asked Mr. Scott to redact that. He has refused. I will support these and release these to the community if I need to. It has a lot more information other than just that, obviously, so I'd rather not. But I'm just letting you know that I asked politely for that to be redacted. You refused, so I said I'd be at this meeting. That said, the statement of information filing, which I've asked since I resigned to be updated, to not show me as a CFO, which I was not the CFO when this was filed, just for the record. This was misfiled for years, has still not been corrected. I've asked a number of times, so now we have filed a complaint with the AG's office, because I don't know what else to do, and I don't want to be accountable for you guys' financials. So, please, handle it. I do have a question of who are the officers on this board. I have a question of where the other 3 board members are to actually have a board to vote in officers. Right now, you guys are 4 sitting directors. You need 7. You can't do anything without 7. You can't make any decisions. You can't change anything about the runnings of the organization until you have a full board. And that's your bylaws, our bylaws, that John Wormwayne also redid in 2021. That being said, this P&L statement that you provided, these amounts on here for additions, decks, new home, retaining wall, are these amounts including deposits? Because there is no itemization on here for deposits. And I know that we don't charge $8,000 or $7,000 for a new home. So I'm assuming that these amounts are inflated by not actually showing the trust funds as individuals stated up there. That should be separated because that's not net income. You guys are holding those funds in trust for someone to finish their job and return to them, not taken as income. So I believe your financials are completely wrong. I don't understand how in January you guys had, what, around 59,000? And now you're showing you had 48,000 when you had a $25,000 at least D&O insurance policy due in March. So I don't believe anything in your financials. That goes to say that the way that you're running right now means that you're running off of people's deposits or you're running off of damages. You can't run off of damages. If you read the bylaws, it states in there what you can do with the damages, which is why we bought software to keep AWAC running independently. Not to hire somebody at $40 an hour to sit here and take the money that is supposed to go back into the community. And that's specific. In the bylaws, 2021, we redid them per the court order, states specifically what those tree damages are going to use. So I'm not trying to throw all this out to the community, and I've tried to be really nice, but the three of you up there are foolish. There's a reason why the whole board left. There's a reason why I resigned, right? And you guys are misappropriating funds. You're using people's trust funds. You're not properly reporting funds. So I don't really know what else to say other than you have no board, you have no officers, you have a false statement of information filing. You have false statements that the president, who's not the president, no offense, Rich, but you did resign, and so you have 7 directors up there. You cannot be renominated back.
Okay, Crystal, could you wrap it up real quick? You're close to exceeding 3 minutes. Appreciate it.
Well, that's a lot. So when can I get an information update on all of that so I can share it with the community?
Okay, is that it?
I mean, there's more, but I'll keep it. I mean, I've got another page and a half of information over here if you like it, but,
All right, are you done with your comments?
my questions, I guess my last question is, when I did propose Jennifer, I proposed her as a director or an officer to take in and come into the board, because our board did not. I never proposed her as an administrative staff, which she's not. She's running your financials, she's taking down your meeting minutes. She's basically acting as an executive director without the title, right? So I never proposed, why is she not stepping up like you guys are right now as a director or an officer with skin in the game that she really believes? And that's been my whole thing the whole time. So, you know, that's my list of questions. When do you think I can get a response on those, Rich?
Thank you. Well, some of them we've responded to, but I'll try to get a response together for you early next week on most of the things that I wrote down. Some of them I'm not aware of, so we'll get back to you.
If you responded to the other questions and the response was inaccurate.
Well, that's an opinion, but we'll try to get a response out to you on items we haven't responded to early next
What,
week.
that a legal opinion? By one?
Probably. It'll be charged.
Okay, thank you so much. Anyone else? I have no other public comment.
I will call you.
Do you? Okay, thank
Okay.
you. May I have this list? Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Scott, I did ask you about these budget ballots that you supposedly had in 2010, and last meeting we dodging answering the question. And when was the last time you saw the ballots? When were you aware of the ballots that were taken in this community for 2010 and authorizing this vote to be supposedly expended for 2015?
Okay, I can respond to that. Is that your
Well, you're
question?
respond to me now. Why
I'm
you
going
don't?
to.
Go
Is
ahead.
that the end of your question?
No, I also want to know, that first you let me, when was the last time, then I tell you the next question. You have my 3 minutes, what my 3 minutes answer the question. When was the last time you saw those ballots?
When we presume, I believe it was 2007, a result of a lawsuit, we found and produced some of those ballots.
I'm talking
One of
about
the
the ballots you collected in 2010, you're going back to 2007, 3 years before the election?
I'm sorry, it's 2015. There was a lawsuit that was adjudicated in 2015. As a function of the discovery in that lawsuit, we produced ballots for one of the tracks.
So you haven't had any, you don't know about any ballots since 2015, that's what you're telling me?
Correct. I have not seen them.
You have never seen any, have you discussed anything with anybody that, for those ballots that was taken?
No.
So you don't know what ballots are like?
Correct.
That's not true. I mean, I'm just
Please
tired.
don't interrupt.
But I'm tired, why lie? I mean, it's,
Well, she was your board member, she knows something, you want to let her go. I don't know what I don't know what she's going to ask, I don't know what, how the story is, but,
Okay, what's your next question?
you were in what was this Christy Tran's lawsuit? That you sued her in track, I believe it's 53 St. Trafford and Sadie's, what year was that, do you remember?
Well, it's still ongoing, so.
Okay, in that, didn't you, depose in there of the ballots that you taken over there and give to the court that, those depositions there?
I don't believe that those ballots for that track were produced, I'm not positive. In fact, I think that was a track where there were no ballots, I think that was a track that didn't expire. So I don't believe there were any ballots for extension of that.
Okay, we even didn't discuss the ballots in that lawsuit, of yours? Or how about you, Mr. George Hatt? What year was Mr. George Hatt's case?
That's the one I'm referring to. Anything else?
By the way, I do have those ballots. I have copies of all of them in my track.
I think you need to answer her question, I don't know what was, she was in comment, I don't know what, I'm not clear what she's talking about.
it was just a comment.
This is a public comment period, and it's your turn to comment. Do you have any other comments? Okay, all right. Any others?
No, no other request to speak,
I never said we did.
and there's no raised hands on the Zoom.
I just said I couldn't verify.
Mr. Hyde.
Mr. White?
So you can,
Okay, let's close the public comment period.
What was said?
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Hyde. Yes.
oh,
We
I'm
agreed
sorry.
to defer you
Yep,
to
that's
the.
right, we did defer you, sorry.
Ms.
Please go
Kelly,
ahead.
listen, I'm really here for you. I'm here to talk to you because I'm giving up talking to the rep. You don't know me, I know Swat. I'm a former assistant district attorney in New York for 10 years. I prosecuted the mob there, I prosecuted recidivist felon facing 20 years to life in jail. That's a dangerous preoccupation. I went from there to Los Angeles, a deputy city attorney here, where I also prosecuted crimes, but my central activity there was defending the Los Angeles Police Department, which is a creative preoccupation. But I encountered a lot of things. I've been great many liars. I've tried over 90 cases in Los Angeles and in New York, and I have lost one. Juries listen to people and they use common sense. I'm going to ask that you use your common sense. You just heard a former executive director of this organization tell you that there is misappropriation of money here. There has been and there is. She also tells you that there are ballots that existed that everybody says, oh, we don't know about those. We can't find them. Any normal jury using common sense would say, when this gentleman, Mr. Scott, said, oh, your time is up, sit down, sit down, sit down. Don't tell us anymore that she must be telling you something important. Garen has just told you the law. The law is if you go along with this, you are personally liable. This organization has not had a functioning board of 7, but 3 years, except for moment to moment. Every decision that was made during that period of time was illegal. And every purported other board member sitting here was personally liable. Why do you think all of those other board members resigned before you? Who do you think you're replacing? You're replacing intelligent people like yourself that jumped the boat.
Ted, could you tone it down just a little?
No, I won't, because it's very important.
Okay, well, your time's almost up, so
See?
please continue.
No.
Yep.
Yes.
You reveal yourself in your words, and I leave it to your common sense to understand what is going here and what is your personal liability.
Thank you.
Mr. Hike, I thank you for that. And as you spoke before, one of the other meetings, you actually pushed me to do more research. So I thank you.
Okay, is that the?
That's the end of the public comment, unless there's somebody I missed. No, okay, and I don't see any hands, so I think we can go ahead and start with this.
Okay, let's close the public comment period. And we'll move on to agenda item 6, old business. We have an update on the Senate Bill 1405 redaction. AWAC sent a letter of support to the Senate Local Government Committee hearing. The hearing was held on May 1st. The revised Senate Bill 1405 passed, was on the consent calendar, passed with a 6-0 vote. So the redaction of the language was approved by that committee. It will be heard in the Senate, and the date of that hearing is yet to be determined. So it's moving.
The Senate has passed it. Unanimously, it is passed.
The Senate Local Government Committee has passed.
No, the Senate, sir. Take it, my lawyer. The Senate passed it today.
Thank you, Ted. I wasn't aware of that. That happened
The
today.
merge is over.
Thank you.
No merge.
And I believe she's showing up at the high school tonight.
Yes, she's at 6:30.
Okay, item 7, new business. We have a new home on the agenda for approval.
Is that the one for the 6,800?
It's located, it's lot 60 of tract 2. The street address hasn't been assigned yet, but it's on North Shore Road, just east of the Willow Creek Bridge. The applicant paid $3,869.50 in application fees, including a refundable deposit. They've submitted the plans. We've circulated them for review. There were a couple of questions. The applicant's been very, very cooperative. We requested a signed topo. We got it that day from him. He is actually an architect, the owner. He's building it as a home for himself. A couple of comments that we have from the board are confirmation on the driveway finish. It's kind of hard to see, but it's noted on the site plan as a concrete driveway. There was a question regarding roof pitches, and we've agreed, I believe, that the majority of the roof pitches comply with our guidelines, so everything's good there. The applicants agreed to comply with our tree protection plan during the course of construction. And I believe those were the conditions.
The submittal of landscaping plans.
Oh, yes, and a deferred submittal of any landscaping plans. So, based on those conditions, I would move to approve this application.
Isn't that more of a committee function instead of a board meeting function?
Is there a second?
I motion to approve the new home.
Okay, so you motion to approve it, Michael, is there a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Greg, any discussion?
Could you repeat again what the deposit, you said it was inclusive, 3,000, you said that included the deposit, but what was the fee for the?
$3,869.50, which included a $1,500 refundable deposit.
And are those amounts part of the amounts that are included on the financials provided?
Yeah, I think this will be in next month's. Okay, all in in favor of the approval? Aye. Okay, I will notify the applicant that his application is conditionally approved.
That was a very thorough package.
It was, he's an architect, so we got lots of things in advance that we typically have to ask for, so.
Now, what the building and safety does?
Okay, let's move on to the staff report, agenda item number 8.
In January of 2024, as we mentioned in April, there were 2 streams of work identified, and priorities were set for those. One was operational activities, and we met those deadlines of March 15th. Those activities continue, and they include refining the paint and siding application, as it has been long for a number of years. And we are moving forward to print new paint and siding applications. Enhancements of the AWAC website, because it has had misinformation on it for a bit of time. So many of those have already been corrected, and we're trying to make it easier for everyone to navigate that site and find the documents that they're seeking. We are beginning to resume, well, we're submitting documentation, actually working with Bank of America to resume the acceptance of credit cards for the ease of deposits. We've
How are
also
you guys doing that
drafted
without a board?
excuse me, I'm speaking, thank you. Draft the 2024 AWAC budget, which will be reviewed by the board on May 30th and approved with any changes that need to be made. The second stream of work is organizational development, and as I mentioned, we will have the annual meeting on May 30th. At that meeting, the board will deliberate on revised bylaws, revised property modifications, addendums.
You guys don't have a board.
Approved, please, I am speaking, I have.
But I mean, everything
No
you're
board.
saying, you have a
Please
board
don't
that you
interrupt.
don't
You have to have
Like,
7
that's the
members.
problem here.
Please don't interrupt.
But
I
please,
will place
preside,
my,
like,
I will
what
place
we're
my
running
report
organization.
on the website,
Come on,
and you can all read the report
I'm gonna
that I
ask
refuse
nicely.
to speak to rude people. Stop it.
I'm not speaking to you, so that's okay, I'm just voicing it out. It's just a fact that everybody in the community is frustrated at because you guys keep on operating. Here, I will do you a favor and I will leave.
Thank you.
But that is just a fact, you just keep on operating without
We
being able to.
appreciate your efforts on behalf of AWAC, and I wish you the best.
The community would appreciate you guys actually running a proper organization. I
Maybe
mean,
before she
it's
leaves, you can
embarrassing.
ask for her comment.
Thank you.
Let's go for it for an answer for the next week. Otherwise, I will send out everything in here.
7 members! Jackasses!
They're Banana Republic, so good luck to you guys.
Good night, Aaron, thanks for your support.
You're welcome, Scott. Let me know if you need more.